Hey guys, JD Wolf here. Welcome to my Beginner's Guide to Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. This video is for those who have tried to play the game but can't seem to get past Cyceal because their party keeps getting killed. It's like you have 4 characters, which is too many targets for the enemy. You go into attack, you get killed, you run out of healing, you run out of resurrection scrolls, you just can't make it through, and your characters are, well, just too weak. And this isn't your first role-playing game. You should be able to play it on at least classic difficulty. You don't want to have to lower it to exploration difficulty, but you also don't know what you're doing wrong. Well, if that sounds like you, you're not alone. I was in the same boat. Now, this video will assume you're running into issues outside of Cyceal, so there will be a couple of spoilers. I'll discuss where to buy spells, and I will discuss using the pyramids. If those are not spoilers for you, or you don't care about the spoilers, keep watching. So, what do we do? What kind of party do we build? How do we run that party? The short answer is that we create a pair of lone wolf wizards. Now, you may hear that and ask, what, are you crazy? And my answer to that is, well, maybe, but that has nothing to do with it. Now, let's talk about the issues that we're running into, alright? We are too many targets. We are 4 characters, and every one of them needs to be healed from taking so much damage. That could be a real issue in healing spells, well, the cooldown and everything. So, do we give everyone healing spells, or do we use so many healing potions as to bankrupt the party? If we only have 2 characters that stay at range, the healing spell needs are rare. They are casting spells at maximum range, and so they are not running into combat. So, let's first talk about how, with these characters, do we keep the enemy at range? Well, there are 5 ways you can do it. Number 1 is summons. If both characters can summon, then they can turn the party into 4 characters. But those up front are meat shields and do not require healing. Number 2 is teleport. If one enemy gets too close, we can teleport that enemy far away. Number 3 is kiting. We can simply use part of our AP to back up. Since they're a lone wolf, they will have more AP. Number 4 is use the pyramids. Always have each character holding one of the pyramids in combat. If one gets surrounded, have her use her pyramid to teleport to the other character's location. Number 5 is to use a friendly teleport. That is the one that can teleport to teleport the other character to a different location. Just remember that the low-level teleport does cause damage, so be sure they have enough hit points. And, since they're lone wolf, they should. So, let's get into some detail on this, on how exactly we want to design the characters. I'm going to touch on how you want to manage your points as you level up, so you might want to pay particular attention to that. Okay, so here we are in the character creation screen. What I would recommend for our 2 wizards is to create a witch and a wizard. The reason you create the witch here is because this is an earth staff and this is a fire staff, so we have some variety in the elemental damage that we're having. Now in each of these, you want to go ahead and customize them. I'm going to show you that. Go customize. You can design your character however you want her to look, or him. Now over here we definitely want to customize. I want to have intelligence of 8, speed of 7. Now, your speed gives you initiative, how many action points you get per turn. I would recommend first I would recommend you start off with intelligence and speed. Then, I would recommend that when you get points, you put them into speed in groups of 2, because your movement speed, the number of AP, not necessarily your movement speed, but your number of action points will go up by 1 for every 2 points of speed that you put in. So I would, when I get a point, I would look and see if, if I were to, I would assign it to the speed, see what happens to my action points and the stats. If it's going to go up 1, then that's fine. But I try to keep intelligence and speed together, is what I'm saying. But I would do speed I would do them 2 at a time. I'd do speed, like level 1, level 2, intelligence, level 3, level 4, that kind of thing. So that you get that extra action point as quickly as possible. So that that point of speed isn't, quote, wasted. It will affect your movement, it will affect your initiative, but to get that extra action point, you need 2 points of speed, is all I'm saying. And there's very few things that you get, except some boots, possibly, that might increase your speed. It's very rare. There are items that you can get and that you will use that will increase your intelligence. So, it's easier, let's say, to get items that increase your intelligence than it is to get items that increase your speed. Intelligence is affects the amount of damage that you do. Now, strength, you don't need that. Dexterity is for archers. Constitution gives you hit points, but we're going to take care of that in a different way. And perception is nice as well, but we're strictly going to go with speed. Over here on the abilities, let's talk about the talents first. We're going to go with Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf, you cannot have a companion. So since they're both going to be lone wolves, there will be no companions. This is your entire party, these 2. Cannot have a companion, but you receive a 70% bonus to base vitality, 2 bonus to your turn action points and your maximum action points, and an extra ability point on level up. So you're going to get more abilities. You're going to get you are already starting with more action points and almost double hit points. 70%. You're going to have 170% of the hit points that you would have normally. So you can take a lot of damage. You can do more things with this one character, and you have extra ability points over here when you level up. Now, for your abilities, the weapons, personally, the reason I pick these guys is the witch and the wizard, is that I prefer staves to wands. Many people think wands are more effective because you can equip 2 of them. You got to put points in wand to do extra damage if you want to do that. You have to put points in dual wielding in order to have the ability to use 2 wands at the same time. I'm finding that the spells are much more effective than anything that a wand or staff is going to do. So, when I do use the staff, it's usually just once, and I don't really have extra action points to spend on another wand attack. Because the wands, it seems to me, take the same amount of action points to cast as do to cast their damage as does the staff. So personally, I prefer staff. If you prefer wands, you can pick different classes because you can go in, wipe out all the points, and assign them this way to any class. And this is all about your starting equipment, picking the picking the class. Okay, so let's get down to it. Here we have defense, armor, no. Bodybuilding, no. Shield expert, no. Specialist, field specialist, no. Willpower. Now, willpower does reduce the chance of receiving a status. It basically affects your saving throw against fear, mute, charm, stun, curse, slow, petrified, decaying, touch, mark of death, remorse, shackles of pain. There are things that will increase your willpower that you can wear, equipment that you can wear. It's good to put points into that, but it should not be your primary focus of where your points go. You should only put stuff in there when you kind of feel you have maybe too many ability points. Personally, I put 1 in there. I think I've put a second point on one of my characters in there, and the rest I just leave to equipment. I pretty much fail the saving throws. It does not affect frozen. As you can see, frozen is not on the list. So unless it actually does affect frozen, it's not really helping me too much. Alright, so this particular character here, I made her blonde so that I can tell that she is going to be my arrow and my hydro. So she's going to be all about water and frost and geomancer. So we're going to have earth in there as well. And we'll talk about how these are going to interact in a minute. With my final point, I put in leadership. You need 1 leader on your party to get that bonus to initiative and damage. There are other bonuses that you can get, and there are definitely items, lots of items that you can get to boost up your leadership. There are items you can get to boost any of these things. You don't actually have to put this point in leadership. You can just mentally say, okay, this is the one that I'm going to put all the leadership items on. But if you put 1 point in it, then on your very first battle, you're going to have that bonus. Basically, I put 1 point in leadership and forget it, and just put all leadership items, if the items are great in other respects also, on this particular character, so that her leadership bumps up. Lucky, I don't care. Charisma, bartering, I don't care. Craftsmanship, I don't do crafting. I've decided, since I've started over, I'm gonna chew all crafting and don't even worry about it. You get enough loot that you should not have to be crafting your own equipment. Yes, you can design stuff a certain way if you got enough abilities and get it to, be just so, but you get so much loot to go through that I don't even worry about it. If you want to get into crafting, get you some equipment that gives you crafting bonuses or something like that, because there are some that will do that and will just open up the skill for you. The same for blacksmithing. You repair your own items in the field. I don't do that. I just gate back to town and, just go up to anybody almost and have them repair your armor. She's not taking a lot of damage to the armor, so I'm, every now and then I'm surprised, hey, look, her armor's about to be destroyed. I need to go back to town and get that fixed. I just have that fixed in town. Same thing for crafting. Lore Master, I'm going to leave that to the other character, and I'm going to make this the leader and that the Lore Master. Telekinesis, don't even worry about it. You can get a lot of equipment that will boost up your telekinesis. Nasty D's, lockpicking, pickpocket, sneaking. I do not sneak. I just straight up battle. I want to have the battle at the longest range possible. I don't want to sneak too close to the enemy as it is. Pickpocketing, just kill them and steal the stuff if you want to pickpocket them. If you want to steal stuff off the walls, just wait till they turn their back, sneak, steal the stuff. I don't do pickpocketing at all. Lockpicking. Most doors that are locked have keys or ways to get in, or you can attack them and destroy them. However, there are some that are nearly impossible to destroy. The keys are nearly impossible to find, and I get really frustrated. So I do pick one character to do lockpicking. I don't start off with the original points in it, but I will devote maybe 1 point into lockpicking. There was a particular door that I needed to get through, and actually it was the other character that I did the lockpicking on. One particular door I needed to get through, and I still, to this day, do not know how to get through this door other than picking the lock. I don't know if there was a way, and it was like a level 5. But I had enough equipment that gave me a 3-point bonus. All I needed was 2 points in lockpicking. The first point cost 1 ability point, the next point cost 2. So a total of 3, and I had a 5. I picked the lock, I got in, I finished the thing. I don't even worry about it. So I do like lockpicking, and we'll talk about that with the next character. Over here, now the spells, all of these spells that are available up front, right here, are available to purchase in town for approximately 200 gold pieces, depending on your bartering skill, how much they like you, 170 something, basically 200 gold pieces. So you're going to want to pick up everything that you possibly can. When you get into town, you are going to want to, any room that you go into, you're going to want to say, hey, is this room such that, is it unoccupied for one? If it's unoccupied, close the door, sneak if you have to, steal everything. Everything off the walls, anything worth more than a gold piece, I would steal. There are sometimes, you'll have like these gold plates on the table that don't even highlight when you hold down the Alt key. But you can pick them up and they sell for a lot of money. Every painting off the wall, because pretty much every painting that you steal is one first level spell that you could buy. Alright, now, I do not want you buying skills that you are not going to use. We are at range. do not want any vampire touch. We don't want any touch spells. I don't want you to be encouraging yourself to get into close range and touch any target. All right. What the spells that I have chosen are regeneration, teleportation, and summon spider. You definitely want the summon spider. That is key to our strategy, so that nobody comes up and attacks us. Regeneration is your healing spell. This is going to be your healing character. It's imperative that you keep her alive so that she can heal. And you want to heal whenever anybody gets like half or less. You want to be healing them up. It has a cooldown, as you can see, of 4 turns. So you need to hit that heal. If you're starting to take damage for whatever reason, heal up whoever is about to take even more damage. Just start healing them with the regeneration. All right. And I don't think I mentioned the other one. I mentioned what Lone Wolf does. Far Out Man is my choice over here because it increases the range of your spells by an extra 2 meters. Very important. Very important. Let's look at the other arrow. Rain is nice for putting out the fires. Freezing Touch, don't get close, no avatar. She's doing also, that's the Hydro on the arrow. Bitter Cold. If I just picked teleportation, if you don't like that, if you would prefer Bitter Cold to be able to freeze one of your targets in battle, it has a 7-turn cooldown, but teleport has a 9-turn cooldown, so you're basically doing it once per combat. Bitter Cold is just as good as a choice, and you can get teleport for 200 gold in town. The reason I don't want you taking any touch spells, I also don't want you to take Thunder Jumps, you jump to other guys. Geomancer, you could also take Midnight Oil if you want to synergize with your teammate to spread her fire around, because she's going to be starting fires. You can actually take Rain if you want to stop it. You could take Midnight Oil if you want to spread it. You can take Teleportation if you want to just have that ability. You can take Boulder Bash, which gives you a little teeny bit of oily surface. Very small oily surface, 1 meter in diameter. I don't use the Bless. It does remove Curse, but I don't use the Bless. I'm not into the buffs and debuffs. I'm into, you have these 2 characters. They need to summon and start doing damage immediately. Debuffing is nice. Buffing your friend is nice, but doing damage to the target is much better. So I don't even do the buffs and debuffs. I concentrate on just purely doing the damage at range with the spells. Alright, let's talk about the other character. And then we'll talk about... one thing I wanted to talk about, the reason I was going to say that if you look at the abilities, alright, level 1 allows you to learn 3 novice spells. If you take a touch spell, you're using up those novice spell slots, and you're going to have to gain your level in your abilities that much quicker. You want to only learn the spells that you're actually going to use in combat. Don't pick up the touch just in case somebody gets close. No, if somebody gets close, get the hell out of there. With any of the methods that I described before, do not sit there trying to get in close and, oh, I'll touch this one. No, just get out of it. All right. Now, this particular character, again, same. Intelligence and speed over here on this side. We're going with Summon Spider, Flare, and Midnight Oil because this is Geomancer. Yes, they both have Geomancer, Pyro, and Witchcraft. Now, notice I didn't take any Witchcraft spells. I don't like any of the Witchcraft spells that are available up here. I don't like very many that are available at all. The Witchcraft spells are all about buffs and debuffs. Vampire Touch does damage, but again, that's a touch. Summon Undead. There are some summoning spells in the Witchcraft, and you don't want to block off that from your party. Again, like I said, I was going to put Lore Master on this one. I put Lore Master on this one. As soon as you get an identifying glass, you can start identifying stuff. So this is my Lore Master. I already talked about the pickpocketing. And yes, Geomancer, Pyro, and Scoundrel. And of course, I guess you can Um, Guess why they both have Geomancer? Because they both get Summon Spider. I want them both to be able to summon Spider. I want them both eventually to spread the oil. I want them both to be able to Boulder Bash. Because, yes, this is the one setting fire to the oil, but with Midnight Oil on both of them, they can both spread the oil. Okay? And the talents are the same, Lone Wolf and Far Out Man. Now, let's talk about where you get the spells. I did say I was going to let you guys know where to purchase these spells. The Pyro is from Arthro, the wizard that you meet at the very beginning of the game. He's on the 2nd level in the barracks, in the main headquarters, not the barracks, main headquarters. He's on the 2nd floor up there all by himself. And he sells the fire, and he sells the Geo. And so you can buy those from him. The Hydro and the Arrow are available from the merchant in the main square in the first town. She is the one with all of the potions around her. The witchcraft spells, you probably already know that. The witchcraft spells, however, are on the 2nd level of the inn. There is a female trader in there. She has a bodyguard with her, and she sells witchcraft spells. And so I would recommend getting into town, stealing everything you can, so you can get the spells that you need. All right. When you level up, this is the thing I said, pay particular attention. I already talked about the points, how you want to do 2 speed at a time to get your speed bumped up. When you level up, if you get a talent, let's talk about the talents, I suppose. Elemental Affinity is nice to have. It's hard to activate, and be sure you're standing on the right element to get that bonus. But if you get it, it's nice to have. Leech is nice to have. If you step in blood, you get some free healing. Sometimes it's your own blood. You get hurt, you get a little bit of healing back from the blood that you're standing in, which happens to be your own. But Leech would be much better on a warrior who is up in combat and killing guys and stepping through blood. You're supposed to be at maximum range, so you're not really stepping through a lot of blood. So there are some other things in here. Just pick ones that are going to really, really boost your character up. Zombie, I would not recommend Zombie, because you want to be standing in ooze, you want to be standing in poison to get healed from poison, number 1, which is explosive. So you got to be careful about that. And also, I can't regularly heal you now. Now you have Zombie, and my healing spells don't work on you. So let's not do that. When I get ability points, I do not spend them. Yes, if I put points into Geomancer, it says that the action points it costs to use higher level Geomancer spells will be reduced. However, if I use up all my points just to do that, and I get this kick-ass Pyro, now I can't learn it, because I've used up all my ability points. I save all of my ability points. Remember I was talking about that door that I was lockpicking? At that moment, I just said, okay, well, let me see how much lockpicking skill it's going to take. So let me start putting points into lockpicking. How could I do that? I had all these points stacked up. I stack up all my points. I have like 10 points in reserve. And I'm not hurting for anything. I have my lockpick is at 6, basically due to items. My lore master is plenty. It's at 3, I think, right now. On this particular character, because that's the ones I'm doing right now. And I have lots of items to give me the bond. I don't have any abilities that I need to spend those points on. If you don't need to spend the points, don't spend the points. Always spend the points on your attributes to get that bonus as quickly as possible. Always buy your talent unless you're seeing that you're about to come in. If you really, really have to have Comeback Kid or something like that. And you're putting points into willpower. I don't recommend doing that. Demon, your Pyro's not quite at 4 yet. You might want to hold on to a talent till you can get Demon. I don't know. Whatever your plan is later in the game. I'm just talking about to start the game. We're just talking about starting, how you're going to manage yourself through Cyceal and get out of Cyceal intact. This is how you do it. You're going to take the offensive spells. If that blast bolt, electrical, whatever you call it, was available, I'd have put that on the other character as well, because I could just give her teleport. Blitzbolt is what it's called. So that, I think I've run through everything that I wanted to touch on for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will be sure to check it out and reply with any advice that I might have. If you have a different opinion, and I know you will, that is perfectly fine. Leave it in the comments below for others to share and others to view. You may have a completely different opinion, and that is fine. This is what has worked for me. It got me out of Cyceal. It made the battles much easier, much more manageable. Yes, I have to sometimes put the characters around the corner, hiding from the, making yourself not have a good angle to be attacked from. That is part of combat. That is just part of the tactic. I have a lot of kiting. I have a lot of running away if necessary. I have a lot of summoning for the guys up front. If guys come after you, get the hell out of there. But it's perfectly manageable, perfectly fine, and I'm very happy with my character. So, and I hope you will be too. If you like this, please like, subscribe, tell your friends. Until next time, stay safe.